So you didn't go to prison though.
Okay.
You got 36 months of probation for attempted murder.
Actually, I like to correct that. My attempted murder charge was dropped, and my new it was false imprisonment, which is what I'm.
But
in probation
your initial charge was attempted murder.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
pled to 2 counts of false imprisonment.
Correct.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna just say it. If you had been a man, like if we reversed the genders, if you had been a man and you stabbed a woman on a date in the neck twice, if everything about your case was the same, but it had been a man doing it, he'd be in prison for a very, very long time.
I like to disagree.
You think so?
Yeah, because there's a lot of different factors that went into my case. I had zero criminal history. I graduated number 3 in my class, 4.0 in college from Berkeley. I had a very amazing family, educated. I come from a really good background, and I was not even suspended in school, nothing like dress code, nothing. So it was all mental health issues essentially.
All the things you listed, aside perhaps from your lack of criminal history, that doesn't really change the gravitas of what happened.
Squirrel donated $100. Regardless of mental health, etc., pure failure of our government. Should have been deported back home by Homeland Security immediately. How is this psycho still here? Give that minimum.
I actually have a good response for this.
Sure, go ahead.
So I actually interviewed with Homeland, and they did a whole investigation on me.
Homeland Security?
Yeah, and they're very good. I mean, they had everything. They had my phone, everything I've ever searched in my life, like no doubt in their ways to investigate, and they found zero evidence of anything tying me to terrorism or any organization or the guy that I named in that night.
Do you, because I think I saw a couple things online, and some people want to paint you as a terrorist because you committed this act of violence on a U.S. citizen in the name as revenge for the killing of an Iranian general.
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $100.
Butt plug assassin.
Disagree all you want, butt plug
we shouldn't laugh though. We shouldn't laugh.
Right. If you had been a man, you would be in jail right now. Life literally on easy mode.
You said you had a specific response. Did you respond to the
with the terrorism threats?
Yeah. Did you respond already, or?
Yeah, I thought I did. Yeah.
I mean, related to what Grid 1 Motorsports here say, in addition to what I already said, if it was a man in your position, exact same context, exact same circumstance, probably not getting 36 months of probation, probably doing a prison sentence, and arguably charged as a terrorist.
Yeah, I would think you would need evidence to charge somebody with terrorism.
Well, the evidence is in the body-worn
just because
camera
somebody says something in a manic state of point doesn't mean that they are actually associated with that. Let's just say, for example, somebody's having a manic episode and they say some white supremacist stuff, and they don't even believe in that, but because they're in a manic state of point, they said that. You can't.
I don't know. I'm not an attorney in the state of Nevada, so I don't know what would constitute, or I'm not familiar with federal law, because I assume an act of terrorism would be that'd be prosecuted on the federal level. In any case, removing the terrorist component, I would say that a man in the exact same position stabbing a woman from a dating app, that motherfucker's going to prison.
Wait, when they test you for these mental disorders, how do they know if you're faking it or not?
I mean, doctors that my attorneys recommended, and also the doctors from the state of Nevada, basically the prosecutors have also concluded that, as well as me being diagnosed with those conditions before the incident even occurred. So it wasn't that
when were you diagnosed?
Sorry?
When were you diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia?
At the mental institution that I was in at.
Okay, so it was right before that happened when you found out?
Right, so
the back buddy thing?
I got re-diagnosed back then, and as well as when I was 18.
Okay.
Because I had a traumatic event, let's just put it that way, and so that kind of led to my PTSD, and 18 is whenever I first started hallucinating.
Female privilege.
How old are you then?
23.
Okay.
You got a very light sentence, I think.
Well, I disagree.
I don't know. If you stab somebody with a knife, I don't care how clean your no criminal record, no criminal history. That's a prison sentence in Brian's sense of justice.
Well,
But the woke district attorney in Las Vegas disagrees, I think.
like I said, I think there's more facts to the case than just like no lack of criminal history. But
Grid 1 Motorsports donated $100. Looks like I need to burn some more cash. Had you been a military-age male, you would be in a very dark place, not in a hospital. Own the fact that your sex gained you privilege, or STFU.
I stand
Do you have a
in my
response?
firm belief that it could have been any gender.
Sure.
And there's no evidence. You can guarantee me 100% that if the same case occurred with a different gender, it would have been a different circumstance.
Butler donated $99.
Oh my God, Jay
There is
Butler.
significantly higher rates of genital herpes infections for immigrants who commit violent crimes using sharp objects. Look into it.
I did not know that statistics. That's Jay Butler. He's very big on the herpes conversation. He loves to bring it up. It's not here. You can't find it, Madison? Okay. Shit, I think I missed a couple of the
For
chats.
the record, I am clean and I do get tested, but I don't believe that's very true.
Well, thank you for the clarification. Madison, maybe it's in the. Can you look at the? Here, just Madison, come back down. I'll find it. Oh, okay, whatever. Well, okay, Las Vegas, exact same Hold on, I got some.
Modest Hikima donated $100. Major W. Bryan getting rid of disrespect. Imagine not straight to Gitmo because woman. But men have all the privileges, right? Because when I was younger I was essayed, I was able to claim mental health issues. What has this country come to?
I will say it's definitely a gynocentric justice system. You know, you often hear talks about, you know, there is a disparity in sentencing between men and women in the US. It's 8 times greater than the disparity in sentencing, which you often hear about this. The disparity in sentencing between white and black men in the US. You often hear these statistics that the comparison between white and black men being evidence of a racial bias or systemic racism, but the disparity is 8 times greater between men and women. And so, couldn't you make the argument then that there's systemic sexism against men because of the insane disparity? I think I have some stats here. Men as compared to women get 63% higher prison sentences. They're more likely to be sentenced given equal amount of evidence, more likely to be charged in the first place, more likely to be arrested in the first place, more likely to receive the death sentence, 20 times more likely to be killed by the police. So I definitely think it's a gynocentric justice system. I would say also, again, this is different. I don't know do you know who Jonathan I can't pronounce his name. Jonathan Copenhaver? Am I saying it right?
I do not recall.
War Machine? Nick, can you pull up the Wikipedia tab? This was in Vegas in the exact same county. Granted, he was charged with some different things. He's serving a life sentence for our kidnapping, domestic battery, and other charges. I think he was initially... Wait, Nick, can you pull it back up, actually? Can you scroll down? Scroll down a bit. To the chart, up. Just the charges here. Convictions. Okay, so he was not... Okay, he got a lot of fucking convictions there. He beat up his ex-girlfriend and another dude. Obviously very different. I don't want to do a comparison. He's doing life in prison with a possibility of parole after 36 years. Granted, again, his crimes were very different. but that's a pretty gnarly difference.
I do think that the case is very different, but also like the fact that I did
Same district attorney though. Exact same. Las Vegas, I think, was it Clark County?
Correct.
Yeah, that was tried in Clark County. Life in prison. He beat up and assaulted his ex-girlfriend and her new boyfriend or whatever. Terrible crime. I'm not trying to bring levity to that.
And for the record, he did consent, and there was no SA in that situation.
Sure. What War Machine did, absolutely terrible. I don't know what's worse. I don't know, but this is a very different, in the same jurisdiction, in the exact same district attorney, you have two very different outcomes. Again, he might have had a bit of a criminal history. I don't know all the details. The crimes committed were different. What he did was very, very fucked up. But
and also, I just wanted to put it out there. With my mental health issues and what I said to the police, that's why they charged me with attempted murder. I asked my attorney, hey, like, if I didn't say those things afterwards, what would be my charges? And they said it would just be two battery charges because of what I said. They basically charged me with attempted murder, and burglary was because it happened at a hotel. So not providing justification for it, but I do think that because of my mental state point and having a clean criminal history with my educational background, I volunteered a lot. I volunteered for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. So a lot of impact on the community, and didn't have like a record on my,
Myers donated $99. There are dozens of cases you can find with a 5-minute Google search that disproves her feeling on the topic. There are niche cases where the man didn't got to jail, however majority received a minimum of 5 years sentence. Also, this looks like a trend, Lester.
I'm not sure what this looks like a trend last year? Is that what he's trying to say?
I'm actually not understanding what he's saying.
Well, I feel like perhaps it's not fair to me to compare it to the Jonathan, I can't pronounce his last, Koppenhaver War Machine thing, because very different crimes. I'd be curious to see, like, how the district attorney in Clark County in Las Vegas is charging, like, what the outcome is when it comes to sentencing for men who have who got charged initially with attempted murder, and if they also got off on probation. That's just what I'd be curious to know, but I don't know.
Yeah, again, I'm not an attorney, but I do know there was a news article by LV, like, Criminal Review. It was like a attorney's website where they explained the circumstances of the sentencing and the facts of my case and how that led to my sentencing specifically.
Okay.
So check it out.
I'm curious, at what point were you in a, like, I guess, sane state of mind to recognize what you did? Because, or I guess just like when that episode ended and you were just like, this is like when you finally realized what you did and that you weren't shooting movie scenes and stuff anymore.
Right.
Like,
so like 3 weeks into it, which is when I was released from jail because I was able to pass the competency hearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you didn't really realize,
like, even when I was in
after
custody, I thought the movie scene just continued in jail and we're shooting Orange Is the New Black.
Oh, so. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you believed you were, like, in a film the whole time?
Yeah, and every scene was different. For example, custody was Orange Is the New Black, and whenever we were in the hotel, I thought I was playing different roles. Whenever I was interrogated by the police, I thought I was playing Carrie from Homeland, and this is some kind of, like, spy movie I'm doing, and that's kind of why I said what I said. Obviously, it's not like I can't take my words back. It is what it is. It is on tape, but I can provide context of what was going on in my mind at that point for me to say that,
Did you ever in your past have manic episodes, or was this like the first one you've ever had, or did you
I've
like,
definitely
constantly
had
have
past
them
manic
before?
episodes, especially because I was, not competent with my treatment.